All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to make this video so dang quick. We're talking a 5-minute video. We are strictly going to cover the technicals, and then we're going to briefly, I'm going to give my analogy here on why, oh, by the way, let's check out what's going on with gold. Oh, shit, man. Oh, shit, man. Dude, I actually may have called the bottom on gold. I said it in one of my videos, and that is really fucking cool. I think I got it off by a day or two, but holy crap. I told my actually no, I definitely got it off by I called it somewhere over here, I believe. I believe they called this bullish divergence out, and I told my friend that hey, if you're not going to trade options, right? And you want something that's actually going to be going up, gold, most likely you will be catching a decent bottom here. Oh, yeah, dude, actually guys, I called the bottom on gold. Holy shit, dude. I don't trade gold at all. I'm never gonna. Well, I mean, I'm not saying never, but maybe eventually. I don't know. But yeah, you just got your breakout from this channel, dude. That's pretty fucking awesome. I'm just saying, that is really awesome. So 160 down there. All right, the price target on is only gonna be it's gonna be like 165, so $5 move from the breakout. But that's fine. That's fine. Either way, that is pretty fucking sexy that just took place. All right, guys. So let's jump right into it. All right, and I'm gonna end off the video with a analogy on why the Fed cannot pivot. Okay, and I think it's gonna make perfect sense to anybody who does think it's gonna pivot. I think this is gonna completely shine a light on what's going on here. They can't. All right. So let's jump into the technical analysis first. All right, we have a triple bearish divergence going on the hourly time frame while you were continuing to rise there. All right, you had about a $10 move while forming that. Actually, we just closed higher, right? So maybe $11 move since that started forming. And then we have the same exact thing over here on QQQ. And we can actually take that off. Okay. All right. So we got the same exact thing forming on QQQ, and we come over to a 4-hour. And this is where I am going to tell you guys that this scenario looks very similar to what we had going on here. So, and that was a sloppy line. It's right there. And that is because, hey, dude, this was clearly a short squeeze rally right there where people thought, okay, the bottom's in, the bottom's in. We had this last line of support here. All right. Well, what happened? All right. You did end up having a wicked rally here, but then you came down and smashed it within 1 day. You came down and smashed that line of support. Well, we'll say 2 to 3 days, all right, from finally stopping the massive short squeeze you had going on there. All right. Well, what do we have right here? We're at lows here. Here, all right, we broke them slightly, just like we did over here. Broke them very slightly. Does this not look very similar, guys? I'm just saying, we're gonna mark this right here, all right? Alt H, Alt. Oh, I got it. Blah, 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 I think it was right around here. All right, you broke them. You got your bull trap. Oh, that is a trend line. Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. All right. You came down, you bounced, all right? You came down, you bounced, you went under, you're going up. Came down, you bounced, you went under, you're going up, all right? Clear as day, short squeeze is going on. People think this is holy crap, this is the last line of defense for bulls. It is, all right? But people think it's going to hold. I'm going to tell you guys, it doesn't make sense to hold, okay? And you guys are going to realize with my analogy in the end, I mean, I'm sure, all of you guys probably do actually at this point. No, I'm sure there's a few people who are convinced in the crowd that the Fed might pivot, or has the chance of pivoting at least. I'm going to shit on that, okay, at the end of the video. But yeah, guys, I do think it is very eerily similar to what we had going on over here. So I'm just going to circle where we are right here. Okay, we're going to circle where we are right here. And it could end up playing out like that, and we could end up having a rug pull from 281 down to 265, $15 move. I would be blessed if that does happen, okay? What I will point out is that we did not close the gap. Sexy, okay? Sexy. All right, I kind of, actually, I don't know if that's sexy. All right, I kind of did want them to close it just so maybe we have a reversal day tomorrow. I don't know. All right, I just do also want to highlight, guys, the TA has been solid, all right? Me ignoring my own warning signs and letting emotions come into my trading, that's the reason for me being down 8K right now. There's literally no reason other than, I fucked myself, all right? I said it's a 5-minute video. We're going to stretch that 10-minute video, baby. 10-minute video. All right, so why do I think it's similar to this? We had the same short squeeze rally that, well, I just outlined why the literal exact setup is the same as this. We are on the last line of support. You got this false rally of hope. Boom. Fueled by shorts, by the way. Guaranteed this was a short squeeze rally as well. All right. And yeah, this is fucking vertical, guys. This is a $20 move in 2 days. That's crazy. That's sexy for the bulls. All right. That's sexy. All right. Not sexy for the bears. Not sexy at all. And like, there's a reason, like, I'm not in, like, the worst mood right now, okay? Like, I'm not going to act like I haven't been kicking myself in the face the past 2 days. But, I mean, I like to acknowledge that, hey, the TA itself, okay? If I just fully acknowledge the TA, like, the TA suggested that this was going to be happening, all right? Like, not only did it suggest over here on this day, okay? It suggested that that was on the table because we had the, I think it was the 1 hour divergence. Yeah, we had 1 hour divergence form right there. So right at market open, I literally could have put this plan in action that I'm going to go over right now, which is okay. If someone had, and I just want to remind you guys, okay, what causes emotions, okay, to come in, guaranteed. You being too sized in. I was too heavy on this trade, guaranteed. It's too heavy, okay? I'm probably too heavy right now, but it's fucking whatever. December 16th trade, I'm keeping what it is right now. All right. I got 25 contracts. All right. And I'm not going to be adding any more. I'm going to be adding the last bit of it if we do end up closing that gap, and no more, guaranteed. All right. I do think that is going to catch a massive move down. I do think I am going to come out winner. I don't think this trade is going to break my win streak. I do not. Now, I'm going to go over what I could have done, the plan. Okay. What I could have done. Very easily could have done, and the reason I didn't do it is probably because I was too heavy and I would have had to add so much fucking money into calls. All right. So at the time, I had 25K in puts. All right. And to add this, okay, which would have been to have 1/3 of the position size being a call hedge, I would have had to add $8,000, $8.33 thousand to have 1/3 of a 25K position. All right. In calls. All right. But again, this is what the TA suggested. So, like, in a normal circumstance, if I wasn't so heavy, yeah, I think I would have been able to pull that trigger, right? That's literally been my only problem recently. The past 3 trades now has been playing both sides, okay? Applying that hedge, okay? It was the same problem I had over here. I said it was likely over here. Well, what happened? It was the same fucking scenario, all right? I was too heavy, and I didn't apply the hedge, all right? And I made sloppy decisions, okay? That's like the same thing that went on over here. I could have applied the 1/3 hedge into 1 to 2 week options, calls, all right? I could have bought in the money, so it would have been relatively safe, all right? And boom, all right? The calls would have went up 100, we'll say 100 to 500%. If you had a week on it, we'll say you might have been able to get 300, 500% on those. Since right here to here. I don't know if that is the case. I'm not looking at it right now. I'm just specifically going over, like, how could I have completely avoided this, and how could have anybody who is feeling the same pain I'm in, how could you have avoided it? Which would have been exactly that. Okay, you would have been able to literally just do that. All right. The 1/3 call hedge, and boom. Okay, you wouldn't have had to cut any puts. Okay, but you would have had that. The call hedge completely paying for all the losses, the temporary losses pretty much on those puts, okay, if you were in the long dated puts. The better scenario would have been for me not only to cut the October 21st puts, but the November puts, and then also add the hedge. All right, that would have been the most sexy scenario that I could have put myself in. I did not, okay? I'm just going over how I let my own emotions fuck me over here, and I let my own lack of discipline on keeping a size, okay, a specific size that I was comfortable with. I told you guys weeks ago, 5,000. That is what I'm comfortable with. Holy shit, 5x what the fuck, Henry? what the fuck? Okay, well, actually, when I said 5,000, my count was probably, I want to say it was around 25K. It was, well, all of them, 25K, maybe 30K max. So, I mean, I guess it did end up getting up to 50K. So, either way, 10,000. That's 150% of what I was comfortable in, or 250% of. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Either way, I was too sized in. Okay, so if you find yourself making the errors that I speak about here, there's a chance you were too sized in, just like I was, because you were too confident in something. Okay, when people are too certain on something, they end up. That's when losses occur, because hey, you don't look at the possibility of it going against you. All right. That's exactly what I did. Okay, I acknowledged, and that was the sucky part, because both my analysis on this day, okay, which Friday and the weekly report, and then also on this day's analysis, I also said that this was the likely scenario. But I literally sent out a Webull update right here, literally at market open, saying that the bull trap is looking like the likely scenario. All right. We had the factors suggesting that we were going to be going up. We were at lows. We knew rocket fuel was in the tank. I could have not been greedy and added 1/3 of that position into calls. And there we go. All pain would have been relieved. But what did Henry do? He got greedy. All right. And that is not right. But I will say I'm still very convinced this is a bull trap. Okay. I do believe I already went over how I do believe it's very similar to what we had going on over here. Yeah, I did. But yeah, like straight up, guys, like I do believe we are going to get rug pulled at some point. Okay. I don't know when it's going to be. Maybe this goes on all week. I have no idea. I do think the weekly analysis will be correct though, and we will get a rug pull by the end of the week. I do think we're going to end the week down. I don't know if that is the case. All right. I have no crystal ball. Okay. But again, I mean, I make these going off of strictly TA. All right. So, I mean, TA hasn't failed us in months. I'm just saying, guys, I failed myself here. It wasn't TA, which that's the thing that sucks because I ignored my own warning sign that I was giving out. Several of them. All right. So, I mean, that's why I've been kicking myself in the face. But aside from that, I think, that's pretty much it. All right. The hourly and the 4-hour time frame, it does suggest like, hey, I mean, you're either going to start heading down soon or you are going to be, you're going to be having another day of pain for the Bears, and bulls are going to probably be shitting on the Bears one more day, which I'm just saying, guys, the pivot makes no sense. Now we will go over why the pivot makes absolutely no sense, okay? The pivot, all right? The pivot comes when the Fed decides to turn on QE again, okay? When they decide to not, like, pretty much halt their rate hikes, which they've already told us they're not going to do, okay? We already had one federal speaker last week literally say, we are not even in restrictive territory yet. All right. What does that tell you? Like, dude, the Fed has acknowledged that, hey, things aren't bad over here yet. Just wait till what happens. Wait to see what happens when things get bad. Okay. When we do enter that restrictive policy there. All right. It's going to be rough. All right. And that's literally the only reason that the bulls are coming out of the woodworks now and are saying, hey, the pivot is on the table. That's the only reason, because the B of V completely pivoted because they started to see this pain. They were like, holy crap, a Lehman moment is about to happen. We have to stop this. That's the only reason people think a pivot is on the table for the U.S. There's no other reason. So think about that, okay? We've been preparing. This whole market has been trying to price in for what is to come with the Fed. They haven't started yet. They haven't done shit yet, all right? And now that we're closer than ever, now they're saying, oh, this is the last hope. Okay, our dad is going to save us. Our dad is going to save us. That's literally what they're saying. Jerome's going to save us. Okay, why would they save you? Okay, I didn't go over the analogy. Now I can go over that. Okay, so you got a house on fire, right? So the fire trucks show up, and you got your hoses. All right, you got your hoses, and they're shooting water. You're putting out the fire. It's slowly, but it's steadily going down. All right. And then, boom. Someone tells you to stop. Okay. Someone tells you to completely stop putting water on the house. Okay. So they want you to actually replace the water in the hose with gasoline, and now you can resume. Okay. That would be exactly what pivoting would do to the U.S. economy. Straight up. Like, everyone knows it. Well, not everyone, because there's a lot of fucking people coming out saying a pivot is on the table. Pivot is not on the table. Things are going to get real bad, guys. Real bad. All right? Like, it is destined to happen. I'm not going to be the guy who calls when. That's why we're in the December 16 puts. Well, I'd say we, as in maybe you guys are in them. I'm in them. All right? They're down, but, I mean, it'll capture it. Okay? Again, I could have hedged. I didn't. All right? That's on me. All right, not the TA. That is on me. All right. But yeah, guys. All right, like they literally can't. Okay, so not only would pivoting stop their effort to bring the problem down, all right, but it would also fuel the problem more. And that's what people aren't acknowledging. It's not like the past. It's not like what happened with 2020. What do you think caused the market to do this? It was them doing unlimited amounts of QE. That's what they announced. They announced that they will do whatever it takes to save the market. They did that. Okay, now they're telling us the exact opposite. They're saying we will do whatever it takes to fix the problem we caused, to bring inflation down, okay? Whatever it takes does not involve pivoting, okay? If they were to pivot, it would be exactly like the analogy I just told you guys about, all right? They would be stopping the use of water and they would put gasoline on it. And then maybe 1 year down the line, you have a way worse problem. The US has a superpower, all right? If people lose faith in the superpower, all right? If people lose faith in the US bonds, okay, their superpower disappears because that's really all it is. It's a debt-based system. And how do you think they introduce all this debt? Okay, they sell bonds, all right? And like also credit card debt. I mean, that's also what puts money into the system, all right? But I'm just saying, guys, they can't lose that superpower. They physically cannot. I mean, they can, but boom, world's reserve currency status would be taken away, and it's almost guaranteed that would be the case. All right, like there is no reason for them to ever do what the Bank of England did because they can't, or that superpower has a massive risk of being taken away from them. All right, like if people lose faith in the U.S. bonds, it's fucked. Everything's fucked. The U.S. can no longer do this. There will never be another cycle if the U.S. can't do this. All right? U.S. has literally allowed every other country to rise with it. Okay? There's a reason other stock charts around the world have also done this. Okay? There's a reason like many countries had this flourish of wealth come into their nation. Okay? It's because the U.S. does this, okay? And it's also because they all do that as well. But the U.S. is the reserve currency, okay? So we say goes, okay? We really do. Like I forgot who said it, but U.S. gets a cold. You bet your ass every single other country has a flu. All right, that's kind of what we're seeing right now. What do you think happened with the Bank of England? All right, they had the flu. We're not too far behind them, okay? Like straight up, we're probably gonna have a scenario like that in the upcoming I'm just saying, upcoming few months, okay? And that could be considered a Lehman moment. I don't know if it's going to be considered a Lehman moment. I don't know if it's going to have the ramifications of a Lehman moment. But very likely, all right, the gears are grinding so hard right now that they're going to give, all right, very soon, okay? And that's like the reason for the December 16 puts, all right? And I also want to bring up anybody talking about SPX, saying that SPX bounced off of the when it bounces off of here, it's a buying opportunity. All right, this is just what happens. Okay, just look back. When in doubt, look back. I want to highlight something. I didn't call this out. That's not the trade we're in. QQQ is the trade we are in. Okay, QQQ. What is QQQ? The NASDAQ. NDQ or NDX. Okay, take your pick. They're the same exact thing. I really don't know why they have two different tickers though. NDX, all right? Come on, please don't do it. Don't freeze up on me, bro. Don't do it. All right, that's okay. We'll just stick on NDQ, all right? All right, so you had your close underneath. What the hell happened the last two times you had your close underneath, all right? Screw the SPX, okay? The NDQ, the NASDAQ, the NDX, QQQ, the NASDAQ represents all the companies that are going to get hit the hardest, okay? And what are the odds that the only other times we have closed underneath the 200 weekly MA in 23 years, 23 years, people, maybe 22, but we'll say 23 years, are the exact scenarios we find ourselves at right now, which is like, holy shit, we have a bubble to burst, all right? Like, and on top of this, like, dude, inflation is running rampant, okay? Like, straight up. That is the whole reason we're in this mess is inflation, okay? Like them turning on the money printer, pivoting, that would not do that problem any good. That would make it worse. That would not stop. That not only would take the water off of the fire, but you would be putting gasoline on it instead, all right? But boom, there you go, okay? I don't think this time is going to be any different. Anybody who thinks this time is going to be any different, I think that is going to be their last words, and I think you are probably going to be having a moment where you die, okay? Not you yourself, but your account, all right? Like straight up, it could be very bad, okay? So just be careful out there, okay? I'm going to end this here. It's been a 20-minute video. I'm sorry, guys, but I mean, I guess we had a lot to talk about. I do want to prepare you guys, all right? And with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.